Hey everybody, welcome to our next Pathfinder 2E video for our starter course. We are chugging along and making a great dent in this core handbook. Before I dive in, throughout these slides, I do refer to the core handbook as the player's handbook. Really, we're just using the core rulebook for all of these rules. If you haven't watched the previous videos, some of this might not make any sense to you. If you're hoping to just see me do character creation on a PDF, that will not happen. Instead, next video I will go through character creation on Demiplane through the Pathfinder Nexus. Finally, this content in this video is assuming your character is starting at level 1 and assuming you're only using the core rulebook. If you have supplements or additional rules, make sure to consult with your game master before doing literally anything. In this video, I'm going to take you through creating a concept, then we're going to choose an ancestry, then I'll take you through step-by-step creation. So let's make some choices. The first thing you're going to do before you crack open the book in full is start considering a character concept. Your concept should start on page 21 of the core rulebook. Then you're going to consider your ancestry, background, class, and some extra details. You don't have to make any final choices right now, you are just making a concept. Then you want to consider your faith and any world details, and this is the point where if they haven't done it already, you should ask your game master if anything is banned, if any ancestries are off limits, if you're using any of the additional rules found in a separate book that I will go over at some point outside of the starter course. Throughout the entire character creation process, even though this is your character, you should be talking to your party members and your game master as much as possible. So choose an ancestry. You can choose from dwarf, elf, gnome, goblin, halfling, or human. Then you want to choose a class. You can choose between alchemist, barbarian, bard, champion, cleric, druid, fighter, monk, ranger, rogue, sorcerer, or wizard. So let's dive into the step-by-step creation. So once you have picked an ancestry and a class, you can move on to the step-by-step selection in the core handbook. You don't have to have a finalized class and ancestry to move on, but it's just going to make your life so much easier if you make these choices now. If you have any questions about anything that I covered in this video, make sure to consult the handbook or drop me a comment, and I'll get back to you when I can. So, your ability scores. In a previous video, I covered the ability scores and what they mean. And at this point in character creation, you have to start considering those scores. So on pages 19 and 20, you can view the scores, or you could just watch my previous video. It's the same thing. Each score starts at 10, and as you apply various character creation steps, your scores will increase by 2. If you have any flaws, the score will decrease by 2. Select your ancestry. So you can get a full ancestry summary on page 22 of the player's handbook. Pick an ancestry, assign any free ability boost, and decide if you take any flaws. Select a heritage, and then choose an ancestry feat. Starting on page 60, you can select your background. Because of how long this list is, I am not going to take you through every background. Then you choose your class. At this point, you need to make a finalized decision. It's going to make your life easier. You do not need to fill in all of the class details, but I would start slowly filling in class abilities in your character sheet. Then you want to determine your ability scores on page 26. At this point, you're going to have to do a couple of things. So, apply the ability boost and the ability flaws from the previous steps. Apply 4 more ability boosts to your character's ability scores. Make sure you choose a different ability score for each boost. That boost is going to cause an increase that goes up by 2. Then you record your starting ability scores and modifiers using the table in the book. Do not forget, each ability boost adds 2 to the base score of 10. Flaws subtract 2. No score should be over 18 at level 1. Then you record your class details. So, hit points. Add together the number of hit points your character gains from their ancestry and the number of hit points they gain from their class. Initial proficiencies. Choose which skills your character is trained in and record those on your character sheet. Record the ones set by your class. If your class makes you train in a skill you're already trained in, you can select a different skill to train. Then look at the class advancement table. After that, you can buy equipment. At level 1, you start with 15 gold to spend. The gold that you get at level 1 is technically up to the Game Master's discretion. The rule of thumb, though, is level 1 characters get 15 gold to spend. And make sure to check your class to see what kind of weapons and armor you can buy. You also want to double check and see if you can buy something you're trained in. And don't forget the essentials. Maybe you need food, a camping tent, a sleeping bag, torches, whatever. So now we're going to calculate some modifiers. Turn to page 27 of the core rulebook. If your proficiency rank for a statistic is trained, expert, master, or legendary, your bonus equals your character's level plus another number based on your rank. So that goes 2, 4, 6, and 8. So if your character is trained, you get a bonus of 2. If your character is expert, you get a bonus of 4. If your character is a master, you get a bonus of 6. And if your character is legendary, you get a bonus of 8. If your character is untrained, you get a bonus of absolutely nothing. It is plus 0. Oops. Now we calculate perception. Perception is a measurement of how alert your character is. There's a whole bunch that goes into perception in the game and in role play, but for the purposes of this, your perception is measured by your proficiency bonus plus your wisdom modifier. So, perception equals proficiency bonus plus wisdom modifier. Then you're going to calculate your saving throws. So for each saving throw, add your character's fortitude, reflex, or will proficiency bonus plus the ability modifier associated with that saving throw. So fortitude is going to use the constitution modifier. Reflex is going to use the dexterity modifier. Will is going to use the wisdom modifier. And after all of that, add any bonuses or penalties from abilities, feats, or items. Now you're going to calculate your melee and range strikes. The modifier for a strike equals the character's proficiency bonus with the weapon plus an ability modifier. Typically, strength is used for melee strikes and dexterity is used for range strikes. At this point, you can add any item bonuses, and we are going to cover this when we hit chapter 6 in further videos. If you want to go and read more about this now, jump over to chapter 6. That is it for the core character creation, but I want to take you through a couple of other little things found on page 28 and 29. At this point, you're going to want to choose your character's alignment, and alignment is an indicator of a character's morality and personality. So there are 9 possible alignments in Pathfinder, and you can see a table for the alignments on page 29. What you need to know about alignment is there is a rule that lets you move around on the alignment table. Some characters will have an alignment prerequisite depending on the class that they pick. Then you want to consider your deity. If you are playing in a custom setting and you have custom deities, make sure your game master gives you a list of them and what they do. If not, there's a whole bunch of places to find information about the deities, starting on page 437 through 440. Then consider your character's age. Then you want to consider your gender and pronouns. Then you want to consider your class DC. So a class DC sets the difficulty for certain abilities granted by your character's class. The class DC equals 10 plus their proficiency bonus for their class. DC plus the modifier for the class's key abilities. So for most first level characters, that DC is going to be a +3. Then you want to calculate your hero points. So your character usually starts each session with 1 hero point, and you can gain additional hero points during sessions by performing heroic deeds or devastatingly clever strategies. Your character can use hero points to gain certain benefits. You can flip to page 467 for more information about hero points. Then you want to dive into your armor class. So your character's armor class represents how difficult they are to hit in combat. To calculate your armor class, add 10 plus your character's dexterity modifier up to their armor's dexterity modifier cap. For more about the dexterity modifier cap, visit page 274. Then you want to add their proficiency bonus with their armor, plus their armor's item bonus to their AC and any other permanent bonuses and penalties. That might sound a little confusing. Visit page 29 to read that entire chunk in full. Then you want to consider and calculate your character's bulk. So your character's maximum bulk determines how much weight they can comfortably carry. If they're carrying a total amount of bulk that exceeds 5 plus their strength modifier, they are encumbered. A character can't carry a total amount of bulk that exceeds 10 plus their strength modifier. So the bulk your character is carrying equals the sum of all of their items. Keep in mind that 10 light items make up 1 bulk. So when we dive a little bit into equipment, we will talk about bulk in more detail. And that's it. So there is 2 smaller videos coming out after this one. I will teach you guys how to level up your character. Then I will show you guys how to do this in the Pathfinder Nexus. And then that's it for the Pathfinder Starter Course. Originally, I was going to include combat in here, and I will still teach you how to play and run combat, but we're going to call it something different. If you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. If you like my Pathfinder stuff, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you want more Pathfinder. Let me know what exactly you want to see with Pathfinder. And as always, thanks for watching.